Today's goal will be to show you how to effectively use Smartlist and all of its best features. So what are Smartlist? It's Microsoft Dynamics GP's out-of-the-box querying tool, available to all GP users. It comes with pre-built reports for all modules: sales, purchasing, finance, inventory. Smartlist can do it all. These reports are customizable in the ability to add new columns and search parameters. The results can be exported to Excel for added data sorting functionality and the ability to create charts. Why would one use Smartlists? Smartlists can be used for looking at GP data such as GL transactions, or records such as customer cards, vendor cards, and even item cards. It can produce reports quickly and efficiently for management, and it's also great in the investigation of discrepancies. One of my favorite features of Smartlist is the ability to drill down into transactions directly from a Smartlist. Let's jump into a demo. The easiest way to access Smartlist is directly from the Microsoft Dynamics GP menu. So here we have the Smartlist window. On the top, you can see that we have a ribbon with multiple buttons that we can use. And on the left-hand side, we have what we call the navigation pane. It has folders with each module's Smartlist contained within them. Today, we're mostly going to be focusing on the search, columns, and favorites buttons, but I'll also give you a quick overview of some of what these other buttons do. The new and modify buttons are more for high-level Smartlist users. These allow for the creation of new Smartlists on SQL tables and SQL views. Refresh allows us to refresh the data within the Smartlist. Print will allow us to print either to a printer, screen, or a file. Excel and Word allow us to export the data into Excel or Word documents. Stop will stop the generation of a Smartlist report. Publish and export, those are more high-level reporting functions. And at the end here, we have some further options and tools available to us that we're not going to go over today. Also, I want to make mention that there is a help feature with Smartlist as well. On the navigation pane, we have all of our Smartlist available for each module. So for example, in sales, if we expand it here, we can see that we have customers. So this will be a Smartlist based on all the customer records we have in the system. On the financial side, account transactions is going to be a Smartlist for all of our GL transactions in the system. We can further expand these folders to see that we do have some canned or out-of-the-box reports already created for us, and these already created reports are denoted with a star at the end of them. If there is no star at the end of it, you can be sure that that was a report that was created by a GP user. The one that is just a single star is the out-of-the-box wide open report. So this is going to be the account transaction report with no additional columns added or any search criteria already applied to this Smartlist. Let me demonstrate. So we can see here that I'm on the star Smartlist. I'm going to go into search, and I'm going to see that we don't have any search criteria filled out here. Whereas if I go to our current financial journal and go to search, we can see that there already is search criteria defined for us. So that's basically the difference between these reports here and this star report. Let's next take a look at the search function. I'm going to navigate to my account transaction Smartlist and click on the search button. We can see that we have 4 search options available to us. I can use the lookup, and I can perform a search based on the columns that are visible within my Smartlist. But I can even search on columns that aren't visible. I can do this by clicking on this little drop-down arrow here and switching to all columns. I can apply a filter to my search so that I can do things such as search for my transaction date within a date range using the is between. I can enter in here starting day of the year and the ending day of the year, so that I can get transactions just for a 1-year period. Also, I want to mention that you should take note of this maximum records box here. We can see currently that we're only going to display up to 1,000 records on this smart list. So if you know that you are going to be returning a lot more than 1,000 records, I would recommend here to bump this up to something such as 10,000. Doesn't really matter what number, just so you can be sure that you get all of the records you were looking for in any search. Clicking OK will apply that. And I'm going to let the smart list run. We can see here that I'm getting close to over 1,000 records, so it's a good thing that I did bump it up. What's nice as well is that it shows us what our search criteria is down at the bottom here. And this exploring means that the smart list is still running, which we can tell because we can see that it's still counting up here. So this is where the stop button comes in handy. So say we are looking at this already, we can tell that this isn't the correct search criteria we wanted. We can click stop here, which will stop the generation of that smart list for us. So next I want to show you guys the columns feature. So this is what we do to add any of our columns onto the smart list. So I'm going to click the columns button, and I'm going to see that currently it's showing us the columns that we have visible to us. We can change the position of these ones by highlighting them and using these little arrows here on the right hand side. So this top one here is going to move it right to the top, and using these next two are just going to move it one by one column, and this one here is going to move it all the way down. To add a column, simply click on the add button. We'll get a pop-up box here that's going to give us a list of all the columns available to us for the smart list. So what we can do is we can pull in something such as our batch number. So now we can see what batch each of these transactions came from. You can even sort on columns just by simply clicking on the header of it. So now here we can see I'm sorting by the series. So we got all of our financial transaction entries at the top here. To drill into entries, very simple. Just click on an entry here and use the go to, and you can go right into the summary inquiry, detail inquiry, or the account maintenance directly from your smart list. So next, let's look at how to save a smart list. I'm going to navigate to our customer smart list in the sales module. And I can see here that I got the smart list that's wide open, where I'm on the star one, showing all my customers. Now let's say I want to see customers who are currently on hold or who are inactive. Well, I can add those hold and inactive columns using the columns button. I'm going to click add. I'm going to search for hold. And I can see that my hold and inactive are right here. I can press the control key to select them both at the same time. Clicking OK brings them onto my smart list. So we can see that we currently have no customers on hold, no customers who are inactive. I'm going to further modify the smart list by adding a search criteria. So I'm going to put where hold is equal to yes. So now I got a smart list created where I've added the hold and inactive columns, and I'm searching for where hold is equal to yes. And we can see that currently I have no customers who are on hold. So let's say I want to save this smart list. Well, there's actually no save button. Instead, we're going to be using this favorites button. Clicking on that, I can give it a name. I can make it visible to the system, a certain company, user class, or user ID. In this case, I want to make it visible to the whole system. I can password protect it if I'd like. And to save it, I'm going to click this add, and add as favorite will add it to the list. Or I can even add it as a favorite and a reminder. Let's try the add in favorite and reminder option. So we can see here that it's already saved it. It's now in the list here. There's no star at the end, which means that it's not an out-of-the-box report. Rather, it was created by a smart list user. And as far as the reminder goes, I'm going to want to have a reminder whenever the number of records is greater than 0. So whenever there's a customer put on hold, I want to know about it. I'm going to display this as a queue. I'm going to click OK. And so now my reminder and favorite is created. Let's go turn one of our customers on hold just to demonstrate this reminder. So I'm going to double click on Aaron Fitz to bring up his customer card, and I'm going to put him on hold. I'm going to click save. Let's go back to my newly created smart list. And there we go. We can see that I got one result now. Aaron Fitz is on hold. Let's go to my home page. I'm going to do a quick refresh here. And we can see now that in my to-do module, that Colin's customers on hold is now showing up with a 1 beside it, denoting that there's now one customer on hold. So I can click on that. It's going to take me right back into my smart list where I can view that customer on hold. Next, I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to export your smart list report to Excel. So I'm going to generate an account transaction smart list here. Gonna let this one run to completion. Then all I gotta do is click on this Excel button. It's gonna prepare the data for Excel. And once it's done, it's gonna open up Excel right on my screen. So now I got all that smart list data right here in Excel. I can do things that I would normally do to data I would have in Excel, such as adding a filter. There we go. I can save this, I can send it off to somebody. I can create charts now off of this within Excel. So there you have it. We have explored how to access, search, add columns, save, and export smart lists. Smart lists truly are a powerful tool, and we've only scratched the surface of what they can do.